Alright, so first off, the most useful features, and starting out from scratch, I would say turn editing on, and now I'm able to go in and add new stuff to the actual system. So probably this first block is more corresponding to stuff like, well, you can add your syllabus here. You can put things that affect the overall class all the time. I mean, like all the time, like instructor information that they can use to contact me. That would be a good thing. Rules for the classroom would be a good thing. So right here, I would probably edit this. See, in topics format, I can now edit this to say something like, well, the rules. And this is my basic GUI interface that I can go in and add, like a bold in there. I can put this as maybe 18 instead. And then I can even change the color of the text using this button right here. Maybe red. And I can even fill the background with something like black. So, you can get as gaudy as you want, really. But here, you can insert anything that you want into that first topic and have it affect the overall classroom. You can even insert pictures in here, which I'll get to that here shortly. So let's save changes. So thank God that the gaudiness didn't actually go through, because these first few topics will allow that. So that's a good thing though, because that gets kind of cluttered looking when you have these multi-bright things going on. It draws the student's eye and confuses them half the time because, especially with the ADD problems we have in school nowadays, color is something where we want to use sparingly at times to really draw attention to important stuff. Here, maybe I want to insert a label. Labels are just that. Labels appear in this block in their native format, whatever you type in here. So just like that. And this one can support all the gaudiness that you put on it. So you can, bold it or whatever you want to it. This is more like a Microsoft Word layout. The most important button is right here, HTML source. I can do all the tricks that you could ever imagine in life with this button. So I'll get into that button here after I show you the basics. Oops, and I misspelled a word. So if I want to get back there and correct that word, all I do is have to go here to update. And then I can go in here and say, well, what's wrong with the word? I can right click on it and look at it and say, well, that's a hold is kind of like me typing on my cell phone. I don't know what kind of language students recognize that as. I don't know, that text formatting or AOLing type of typing. So I'm going to space that out for the human language there. And if I want to switch roles as a student to see what that looks like, this is what it looks like to them. Then I can return to a normal role. Now, being that the label sticks out amongst everything else, other things called resources, okay, so these are all based upon resources that I'm showing you, might be something like compose a web page. Composing a web page is just that. You can support HTML language within it. If it's a text page, like before, it will not support it. Here's my full text. So here I can insert HTML if I want to. And if you're familiar with how to insert HTML, if not, this generator actually makes it for you too. Also in here, it supports the bulleted lists, where the text one doesn't. So here I'll just put maybe a link to my website here. And then highlight that and hit the link. Here I can type in maybe and if I want to open it up in a new window, which is highly suggested for a classroom, don't make them go back, it confuses them. Open it up in a new window and hit OK. And then that'll show up. Here, new window. So now I have this. And they can go up here and click the new website. It'll open up in a new tab. Voila. Okay, now you could do the same with actual labels. So I can insert a label and say link. Oops, not kink. Link. And I can also do that via label. And here's the difference between it. And this time target new window. Instead of the user making them go through 3 links, I've now narrowed it down to 1. So now it has a link, and this is what it looks like in the student's eye. And I can now click on that, and it instantly opens up a new tab without the clutter. So that's kind of important because especially with new users on computers, you might not want that clutter that appears sometimes. Alright, so that's basically using web pages and labels to insert links within it. If you ever want to get rid of one, you can just X out and it'll ask you to delete it. Alright, let's go on to the next video.